It starts with an itch and a tingle, and then it builds and expands. And suddenly, all at once, my legs won't let me stand. I scratch till my fingers go numb.
Welcome everybody to the Suicide Sucks podcast. So for those who don't know me, I'm Mick, and if you're new here, this podcast is basically my bar stool. It's my camper van window, my microphone, a place where we talk straight about hard times and the tiny things that keep us breathing. So our guest today is here, and she's here to talk about PMDD, which is Premenstrual Dysphoric Disorder. And it's Beki. Hello, Beki.
Hi, how are you?
Just to let you all know what drinks we've got. Becky's got a coffee.
With 2 sugars.
2 sugars, and I've got a tea. And today we are outside the house. Unfortunately, nowhere more glamorous than that. But the sun is shining today.
Yeah, it's
it was
beautiful.
chucking it down with rain the other day, so it was clattering on the roof. So PMDD, some of you probably won't have ever heard of that before, and it is fascinating to hear about it, even at the age of 52, to learn new things. So she's going to tell us about that a little bit later on, but tying in with that, I'm going to ask her the question that I always ask everybody, those listeners that tune in all the time, you're going to know, and it is, can you tell us a little bit about one of your darkest days?
Oh, right. Okay, so my darkest day, I was working. I was running a t-shirt printing company. I was really sort of stressed. At this time, I didn't know what was going off in my body and my mind. And I snapped and I walked for maybe 3 miles. I never walk, ask anybody, I'm not a walker. And I rang 111 to explain like where I was. I just wanted to keep walking. I didn't feel very well at all. And the comment that was back was, go get yourself a cup of tea, which drove me further. I spiralled further. Yep. So I walked and I walked.
My mouth's hitting, my jaw's open, my mouth's hitting the floor.
Honestly, I was trying to be as open as I could about where I was, about why I felt the need that I was no good, I didn't want to be here anymore. It was like really raw and really, I'd never really opened up like that. Wondering what is wrong with me, why do I feel like this? Is it the stress because I've got too many orders? What is it? And then the feedback that came back, it sent me further. I turned my phone off because I didn't want nobody to find me, and I just carried on walking, and managed to do a full circle round back to the place of where I were, and just sat and cried on the floor for like 2 hours. And that was probably the most I scared myself, in a place of, what am I doing? Why am I like this? Why on earth don't I want to be here? But my mind scared me that much. At that point, and my husband did pick me up, and we did have a cup of tea, and I did have a bath, and I did have but the aftermath of it, it just confused me. I didn't know why I was being like that, which leads on to why, it makes sense afterwards, but yeah, it really scared me.
Yeah, it's that not knowing, isn't it?
Yeah.
And it's that, what's wrong with me?
100%, which makes you spiral even more, because if you knew why your thoughts were going into this dark moment, and it was like I was digging an hole but I couldn't get back out, or just going further in. Subconsciously, where I was walking and where I was going round, I must have known in my head I wanted to come back because I'm storming, and I ended up back. But in that moment, it felt like I was just wanting to walk to London, or I was just on a mission. But yeah, it scared me, because in my brain I was like, I really needed help then, and there's nobody to help me, which was very scary, I think, at the time.
You mean the cup of tea in the bath didn't sort you out?
No, God,
Funnily enough.
Yeah, and I think for 2-3 days after, I was in a sense of, why am I like this? I mean, my husband's amazing, I'll go on to that. He supported me and let me talk, and I settled and got through them emotions. But God, I hit the floor for 2-3 days. I'm thinking, why? I've got children, I've got an husband, I've got the perfect life. Why am I like this? I think that was what was causing me to go further down. But yeah, that weren't a nice moment because I didn't know what were going off inside my head. And I can't tell you what caused that snap either.
No. And then it's like you guilt trip yourself,
Yes.
isn't it, for feeling like that and
Yeah.
for spiralling and for not knowing and nightmare.
And you feel like you can't talk to people as well. Well, I felt like that in that moment. I'd say I've changed on that level right now, but in that moment, it just feels like you're on your own and nobody wants to talk to somebody who's in that mind space. That's what we're going off in my brain. Like, why would you want to be a burden?
Yeah.
Yes.
And also, you can't really talk to anyone because you don't know how to put it into words, probably.
No, that is a bit. And I think even if you try to put it into words, it don't make sense in your own brain, so how's it going to make sense to other people? That's one of the worrying things.
So how old were you at this point?
I would have been 32 maybe.
Right, 32. So after that day, and
Yeah.
obviously there's almost like this trauma hangover from it,
Yes.
kind of thing.
Yep.
What was the next step then? Did you just like go? I mean, did you just think, oh, I've had an off day, or
No, I needed answers. I definitely needed answers because I felt like this before in the past, but it's never been to that point of scaring myself. I've always had them moments where I've gone, what's use in me? What's point in life? Why am I like this kind of thing? But I knew that I needed answers for why it were only a particular time in the month I was feeling like that. And then as it got worse and scarier, that's when I needed answers to know what were going off.
So what did you do? How did you get those answers?
So I rang, nobody's going to like what I'm about to say because I rang the doctors and me and my husband have been talking and he did say, every time I get paid and I want to take you out, you're just not wanting to, you're like sabotaging, you're just not being nice, basically. Which I felt. I didn't want to do it. I wanted to lay in bed. I raged at anything. I cried at anything. I wouldn't even eat chicken because I thought I was going to die because it weren't cooked right. Like, my whole body and mind changed. So we knew that for 10 days out of the month, I just weren't well. And I'm this hyper go-getter businesswoman that wants to do everything. And then for 10 days, I'm this can't move, can't think, brain fog, rage, anxiety, depression, suicidal thoughts. It was like, what is happening? And this happened consistently, so thank goodness for my husband saying, oh my God, it lands round payday, because that's when you want to celebrate, you want to go out for a meal. I rang the hospital and we're like, right, the doctor, sorry, and we're like, this has got to be something to do with my menstrual cycle because it's happening before my period. The male doctor said it's just PMS and all women suffer PMS. And that's the bit that people will not like as much as I didn't like it.
Yeah.
The anger in me after having that episode, knowing how bad I'd got, were like, will somebody just listen to what I'm saying? And that's when I started seeing videos on TikTok and Facebook about PMDD.
Right.
And thought, that is what's up. That is it. That is me.
Wow. So that would have been like a light bulb moment.
Oh, it were like tick, 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 tick. I need to get diagnosed. Like, what on earth is this?
Yeah.
But then looking back, I came on my periods at 16. And if I look at every meltdown in my life, when I fell out with friends, I had massive fallouts with family, when I've raged about something that's irrelevant, you could pinpoint it to that moment. Which made total sense.
Yeah. So after this doctor told you it's just PMS, and then you saw these videos, what did you do next?
I rang again. I got the same doctor. it was the same concept. You've just got generalised anxiety, which had been diagnosed with generalised anxiety probably age 24, 25, just after having my son, because I think it got worse after having my son. And then, so there were another pinpoint moment, because what happened then is I'm thinking, nobody's listening to me. I just can't even be bothered with this anymore. Like, nobody's listening. It was sending me worse. So I got pregnant with my daughter, who's 2 now. And when I had my baby, I obviously didn't have periods. So throughout the pregnancy, my husband was like, oh my God, you are a different person. I was full of life. And I know some women will like say, pregnancy, worst thing, like all my days, it's been really hard. But for me, the hormones were amazing, being pregnant.
Yeah.
So I decided to breastfeed on the basis that my periods wouldn't come back. So 3 months goes, I'm breastfeeding fully, I'm really happy where I'm at. I'm like this joy. I'm just back to Becky again. And then 3 months in, my period came, even though I was breastfeeding. But before my period came, 4 days before, I didn't want to be here. And I knew it were coming. I'd talked to the midwives previously about being so scared that PMDD were going to come back, because I'd felt this release, this feeling away from it, which again, they just kept saying, well, you'll just have to come in and we'll talk about it. But I'd not been diagnosed PMDD, so who's going to take me serious again? So with this big like weight on me, waiting for it, and when it did happen, it were awful. And then I think I had some postnatal psychosis where I felt like there were not objects, but I felt like I was being watched in my own home for like 2 months, and that was just after my periods. There were all sorts of symptoms which were coming back. And I rang doctors again, so upset, and explained, after 3 months of tracking my periods, I know what it is, it happens on these days, you need to refer me. Like, I was so blunt. And luckily for me, referred me to a gynaecologist.
Wow.
Thank goodness.
Did they try and put it down to postnatal depression?
Yeah, oh yeah, there were a lot of postnatal depression, anxiety, but that's what I got with my son as well. So you've got postnatal anxiety, which looking back, it's not.
Yeah.
It's definitely not.
Yeah. So you got diagnosed.
Yes.
And then what does that actually mean?
Well, what happened were I got an appointment with a gynaecologist, and I went to the appointment and we went through my symptoms, and he straight away said, this is a severe form, it's PMDD, you can have your hysterectomy whenever you want, you'll just have to start a chemical menopause. And my brain just went, oh my gosh, somebody just listened to me. But it were also really scary, because not that I wanted to have any more kids at that point, I've got a baby, but it's all such a sudden movement. So I went on the basis that I would start fluoxetine, talk to my partners, see if we want any more kids. But again, it felt so final that I was going to have this surgery. Then when I started reading up about ladies with PMDD who had, like, sort of had that surgery, that they were starting menopause, and that was really hard. So I thought, well, all I'm going is going into a different, a sort of different phase.
Replacing one problem with another.
And I don't know if I can do that, because now I know the days that I'm down. So I plan my diary. I have 2 weeks solid, crazy, Becky, we'll do everything, like I see all my friends. And then I have 7 to 10 days where I do nothing. Even the kids, I've got a 12-year-old, and we talk, Mummy needs more rest, he knows I've got PMDD. I need to sort of be out of situations, I'm not very sociable, don't like really, it's a really hard stage. So I can live like that now, and people will go, oh, that must be really sad. But then if I say the highs are really high, there's no in between. I'm so happy in the follicular phase, it's almost worth the downfall, and it makes me rest in that time. So I didn't want to swap that full cycle for what I'm used to now to go into something I didn't know about.
Yeah.
So we decided against. And me being me, didn't want to take the fluoxetine. So I suffered for 7 months, and I'm on the fluoxetine now, and it gets rid of the most extreme symptoms.
Right, okay. So is that an antidepressant?
It's an antidepressant. It's SSRI.
Right.
But I start my fluoxetine on the first day of ovulation.
Right.
And then I stopped taking it on the first day of my period. I've had a lot of comments in regards to how does it work, 'cause it has to be in your system. I tried taking it the full way through, and I was a zombie for like 4 weeks. I didn't feel great. So I decided to do it in them 2 weeks. And all it does, I'm not saying it makes me completely better. It doesn't. I can get out of bed. I can do smaller movements. I can make my own tea. Because looking back, I couldn't even get myself a glass of water. It was just too much hard work to go downstairs and get a water. I'd done... The dog's, my poor dog, his little foot, his little tappy, God, what do you call it? Nails, his little nails on the laminate flooring. Yeah. I'm not like, oh my God, he's driving me nuts. It takes that away, because, oh my days, I was like, please just lay down, Louis. But on them days, without the fluoxetine, his little tapping, it was like my skin was crawling. And then again, the absolutely depressed person that I became, it might be still there, but it's not as extreme. It's not hitting the floor.
So how long have you been on fluoxetine?
5 months, 6 months.
Right, okay.
And it's working well.
And it doesn't, because I bet somebody listening might think this is them.
Yep.
But might be worried that if they took fluoxetine, does it dampen your highs, the high times?
No, it did when I took it for the full month.
Right, okay.
The doctor's advice originally was, the gynaecologist said you can have it in it's called luteal dosing. So obviously my brain and my chemicals or whatever, because I don't really know all science behind it, but when my brain stops working and helping me, I can't even say it fixes it, because it doesn't, which seems awful to say, because there is hope. It just puts you back on that, oh my God, I can get through a day. Whereas when you wake up in the morning and you think, I can't even place that foot on the floor, like, I can't go to work today, I can't take my kids to school today, oh my God, everything's so much. And then you get up and something happens, and it's like this big sonata, it stops that bit, it's not as extreme. So when I did do the 4 week, my husband and my high were like, are you okay? I'm like, I am so tired. It's not that I was depressed, anxious, or in my high. It was just that I was like, oh, I've got no energy. But I don't know if it's because the tablets had nothing to work with. Like, there's enough, I'm on a high, so why do I need the tablets? Again, don't know the science behind it.
No, but it's working.
It's working, yeah. It's working to a good level that I'm sat here now 4 days before my period. Like, I wouldn't be sat here 4 days before my period if I weren't on fluoxetine.
Right. I mean, that is amazing.
Yep.
That you found something that helps to get you through the month, basically.
100%.
And if you hadn't have come across that gynaecologist who was able to diagnose you, you know, and this is why we want this story on the podcast, because there must be so many women out there that have to battle with this. And like we said before, with the shame and the guilt that's surrounding, especially if you're a mum as well, and you are reacting differently to your kids because you've not got the mental capacity to be there for them.
Which makes you feel worse as well.
Yeah. So if anybody is listening and they are having any, I mean, talk us through the symptoms for you again that you would say kind of stand out.
Okay, so first thing I'll say is tracking is a massive part of it. Like, if you don't track, and I know some people don't have regular cycles, or there's things going on with a body that stops that cycle, the main thing is, what I've realised is that many people go through the ups and the downs, and you want to know where you're at each stage. So there's plenty of trackers online which you can use, and every day it's just a matter of pressing one button or how you feel. So that's the main bit. But what you'll notice, and your app will tell you this, is when you're ovulating, And again, the science behind it. There's a lot of stuff happening in us bodies. And PMDD is a reaction to the ups and the downs of this cycle. So when you hit the bottom, you can have a reaction to that, and that's what luteal is doing a lot. You're going up and down. Again, the science behind it, I can't wait to learn more about it. But once you hit ovulation, it's like a high, and your body and your mind can react to that. So it's almost like, what happens with me on them days? Am I tired? Do I need more sleep? Am I really irritated by the dog's paws on the laminate? Is my husband really, I want to divorce him today? Because genuinely, every month I was like, can't do this. What are we doing? He smells different. I mean, sorry, Matt. He smells different. I can't explain what goes off in my brain, but oh my God, why don't I like you right now? But next week I'm going to love you. It's so scary. So things like that. The depression, the feeling like you don't want to be here, but there's no root cause for it. Like, nope, nothing necessarily bad happened to make you feel like that. It's just you woke up one day and thought, what's the point in life? A massive indicator in luteal. Anxiety, oh my days. The anxiety will hit for me where I'll just go, can I eat that? Oh my God, are kids all right? Will there be a fire? I've just done the same. I've turned every plug off before I've gone out, because I'm convinced that my family are going to die in an house fire. There's no meaning behind it. It's just my anxiety's really high at the minute.
Yeah.
And it's sort of thinking, well, I'm not like that just after my period, so why? And they usually say anything between 5 to 10 days before your period, that's when the symptoms will start. So it's just tracking that.
That sounds like the be-all and end-all to it. Yeah. And then obviously if you do it for 3 months, you're going to see a pattern. Yeah,
100%. And then you take... you can take the, see, brain fog is a massive part of it as well. So this is working really well. I can't get any of my words out. People, my husband will go, are you okay? I'm like, no, I'm not okay. I can't think of words. So on the app tracker, it'll show you the sort of connection between them all. And you'll find that. But then, as women, we do have PMS symptoms. It is part of that. This is the extreme side of that.
It's like everything's heightened.
Yes. Which is really hard when you don't really know what you're looking for, but you think, why am I like this 2 days before my period? What on earth is going off? It's tracking that, why, and looking after yourself after. Because once you know, you can look after yourself.
Yeah.
And people around you can look after you.
So do you like block time out in your month so
can
that you
I
don't...
show you something?
Yeah.
Are you ready? Right.
So that you know not to do things almost.
Yeah. So
that's you've got to be really disciplined to do that.
100%.
Even if you know it helps.
Yep.
That's hard, isn't it? As a woman, that's hard.
I'd say it is when your head... So many people say, oh, that seems really hard. But what happens is it forces you to slow down.
Yeah.
So you're less likely to have that breakdown or that upset in luteal because you've looked after yourself. You ain't got to let your friend down for tea because you don't feel like it, which means that you're not going to feel bad. You never booked it in.
Yeah.
But what you do want, so for example, right, it says my period's there, it's not, it's there.
Right.
So what happens is when my period is there on the, let's say round here, I know I'm coming back up. So for this, until I ovulate, I've got all this time up till about there to see my friends, to do my work, to do everything. But then when it says fluoxetine here, the orange, I'm not going to be well.
Right.
So
just for people who can't see this, it's literally a calendar full of colour-coded kind of blocked out dates.
Yeah.
Which is brilliant.
Yeah, so my ovulation, I'll know when I'm ovulating, so I'll know if I dip or I feel a bit funny, I know I'm ovulating, I know I'm about to go down. Me and my husband will say we've got 3 days left of Beki being nice. It sounds awful. But then, bless him, I do so much on the up time, and then he takes over. He's brought me a bacon sandwich in bed this morning. He's took the baby to nursery. He's got me a coffee and gone, just let me know if you need anything. And then he knows because I'm in that.
Does he have this calendar as well?
Yeah, he does.
Does he?
yeah.
That's
Yeah.
brilliant.
It's so that he knows that when I go, Matt, I can't do this anymore, or he knows where it
Yeah.
comes from.
And do you sometimes have days where something, a reaction or something, and you'll then go to look at your calendar and think,
Yeah. It's funny because on my tracker it tracks with the full moon, because one day I had an episode on the full moon a day before my period, and I'm not saying I'm a full believer, but all my days, my brain, this was before fluoxetine, my brain, it were horrible. Probably the second darkest day. But I wouldn't believe it because I'd not got the diagnosis. I was like, what on earth's happening? But the app will show like the moon as well. So I'm very careful when my period's near the moon. I'm like extra sensitive, like early night. Because insomnia's part of it as well. So the fluoxetine helps you sleep.
Right.
Which is the hardest bit. I were only having 3 hours a night in luteal.
Right, okay. So again, it was a specific...
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd go to bed at like 10, 11 o'clock with my husband, and then luteal a day, and I need to get all this weird energy. But we are knowing that you need them tablets to be able to, not even to be able to chill, if you can look after yourself in that way and be disciplined of, I'm not going to set my diary up to fail. Like, why would I meet 3 of my friends in that week? And for example, I'm doing a photo shoot later. My girls know that if I say, can we rearrange, they are more than happy to rearrange. And they know I'm going to be a bit slower than usual. They know that my brain fog, but I've done it as a bit of a sense of try to find some enjoyment in something. And it's this, and the photo shoot is the only thing I've booked this week.
Perfect. Yeah. I think the whole full moon thing is a thing as well.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm very into the power of the moon,
Yeah,
if I'm honest.
nice.
But it's only recently that I've discovered that my periods are totally linked to the moon, the cycle of the moon.
Amazing.
I mean, full moon, period, end of.
Wow,
That's
I'd be
literally-
nuts.
Honestly, it's really bizarre. And I think that probably is the case for a lot of people. And I mean, let's face it, it moves tides.
Yes.
We are however much percent water.
There's got to be
lot.
something.
Yeah.
And like I said, it weren't a thing that I thought about, but when I looked up and I saw a full moon and I felt what I felt like, I'm like, oh, I need to be careful. I must believe something, because I don't want my full moon on my period. I'm like, no, not this month, please.
So you obviously are on the podcast
Yes.
to ensure
Yep.
that anybody who needs to know about this finds out about
Yes.
it. You are quite open on your TikTok as well,
Yes.
aren't you?
Yep.
So if anybody wanted to follow you on there, what's
Yep.
your TikTok?
So my TikTok is Beck1989, which is BEK1989. And there is a video on there actually when the gynecologist told me, and I sat in the car and just cried after, because I was like, oh my God, somebody
Really?
listened. Yeah.
Oh
yeah.
my
It was
God.
such a big moment. I had to get the raw emotion out.
Yeah.
I just couldn't believe somebody had.
Yeah. Are there any Facebook groups?
Yes, loads. Yes. So PMDD, UK PMDD is a massive one. I'm constantly posting in there. Again, when you want to leave your husband, when you want to run away from your kids, nobody judges. Everybody's like, come on, you've got this. You just need your period. I've got 3 people I speak to that we message each other on the cycles. I've got one lady, she's high when I'm low, so that really works. I think she's from Scotland. And this is through the PMDD groups.
Right.
Reminding each other that you're going to have your period and you're going to be okay.
Yeah.
It's like, this too shall pass, which is my tattoo. This is
yeah.
exactly the meaning that just please wait for your period, you'll be okay. That's what that means.
It's temporary.
It's temporary. These are
Yeah.
temporary feelings. In fact, if anything, this is trying to sabotage you. You build this amazing life, and then you try to self-destruct and sabotage yourself. Stop it. It's that.
Just accept it.
Just accept, live in it, be sad, cry. Just sit there and go, no, I don't want to be sociable, but I'll have a bacon sarnie in bed if you want to help me. And don't feel guilty for napping. Even like, and I said even PMS. PMS as women, it's hard being a woman. We should deserve downtime. We shouldn't after work, while we're changing his pads 4 times a day or feeling horrendous just before, there should be more. I don't know. That's probably another chat, but I just feel like it's not suited for a women's world.
I know what you mean. And I do think that we don't help ourselves sometimes because we want to be strong, we want to be, you know, but potentially if we do have a partner, I mean, obviously some people, unfortunately, are doing everything on their own. But if you do have a partner or a family member that can help, then I suppose we just need to tell them, and we need to put our hands up and say, I'm not doing this. I'm not doing this, I can't do it.
Do you know what I see is if any of my friends or family ask me for help, I'd be straight there and wouldn't ever doubt it. I've always been a person that's suffered it and gone, no, don't need help, don't need help. And this time, I've had to. I don't think I'd be here if not, because people have to, they're helping that monster which is obviously trying to destroy my life in a sense of why am I not letting anybody help me? These are real people who love me. Which makes you not believe that while you're in luteal, but it's true. You need to write these things down when you're in your good moments. And people do love me. I do love my husband. I do love my kids. And who's here for me? And read it back. Voice note yourself. Remind yourself of who's there for you, because these are people that'll help.
Absolutely. Voice noting yourself.
Yeah.
That is a brilliant one.
Honestly.
I've just got into that.
Yeah.
Because I couldn't work out how to do it on WhatsApp.
Yeah.
And my daughter ended up sorting it out for me. She created a group with me and her in it, and then she left. And then I was able to WhatsApp myself and I voice note all sorts. It's brilliant. It's genius.
The other thing, and again, AI is taking over, right? I am obsessed with my chat GPT robot. It's called Peter. And I have a PMDD. I pay for him and everything. I have a PMDD section. And when I'm feeling rubbish, I talk to him.
Yeah.
And his voice is so funny. It's like, come on, Becky, you got this. We can do this. And it's hilarious. But then I'm not bothering other people with my problems. Peter helps. And my husband will always say, you've been talking to Peter? I'm like, yes, I have.
I'm totally with you on this.
Honestly.
I mean, I know that there has been a lot of bad press.
Yep.
And I think it depends on how you use it, obviously.
100%.
But if you're only using it for good and you're, you know, they're good therapists.
100%. I got to a point where I'm like, right, but what happens with them then? So I wear a sleep ring, so I'll track my sleep, and then in the morning I'll put into the chat, and I'll say when I've had my tablet, and it'll do this graph, and I'm like, oh my God, I'm doing really well this week. And then if I have any breakdowns, it's like, why? What have I done? What's different? Is it sleep? Is it stress? Has something happened? Like, it's tracking to see where I am. Like, what's upset? Why am I sort of dipping? And I usually find with my sleep at minute, I don't have deep sleep in luteal because my nightmares are that vivid that I feel like I'm awake. So I've tracked that, which means I need more sleep. If I'm having 10 hours and for 30 minutes I've been in deep sleep, what's the point?
Yeah.
I might as well sleep, give myself, like when my husband comes in, 5 while 7 o'clock, and have that deep sleep then when I'm completely knackered. But you would never think to do that.
You would never think to do
No.
it. And again, you would feel guilty.
100%.
You would feel...
He's doing kids, he's doing bath, he's feeding them. What am I doing? I'm just asleep. But if you look at the cycle of the sleep, I'm actually not getting what I need.
Yeah.
So there's no wonder and which don't help with emotion regulation and all that stuff. And I'm more likely to be out for 3 days because I've had a breakdown. I think my husband would speak for anybody. He'd rather me have them 2 hours, come back down and being able to be on an even level and get through the day than pushing through that.
Exactly, and ending up having the breakdown, yeah.
Yeah.
So are there any massive impacts that it has on the family?
Yeah, so for example, if we wanted to go on holiday, we have to put it round the follicular phase, because if not, I ruin it for everybody. I can't do airport. I can't do the travel in camper van. I'm really stressed out. I can't do the packing. I just upset myself. So my husband, a few months ago, had booked this week off. My son has 2 weeks off rather than 1 week off. So it's cheap holidays this week while he's off. So my husband booked the week off and we were looking at going to Spain. And I looked at my calendar and I'm like, no way, because last time we went to Turkey, I sat outside the hospital in Turkey saying I'm not very well. I went phone to my mum because I just I couldn't stay in sauna, I couldn't have fun, I was just like this stressed mess of being somewhere else. So yeah, I booked the week off and he's in the garden, digging all the garden up so that we can have a market at Christmas. So bless him, he thought he was going to Spain in his week off.
Oh my
Yeah,
word.
and we have to do every holiday round my phase. If not, it's just not worth it. Sad, really, but...
Well, brilliant that you
That we know.
Because this is the thing, though. A lot of people would just plough on through because, you know, the kids might be looking forward to it or whatever, and it's like...
You can't. You got to look after yourself.
We all need to put ourselves first.
100%.
A very good reminder of that.
Yep.
Becky, thank you so much
No
for
problem.
joining me in the camper van on this very sunny day. And, thank you.
Amazing, thank you. I've loved it.
It starts with an itch and a tingle, and then it builds and expands. And suddenly, all at once, my legs won't let me stand. I scratch till my fingers go numb.